So today is officially my anniversary. It is my Mandela Effect anniversary. I always link back to September 23rd as being the big change event that occurred. It actually was not the Mandela Effect so much as it was this encounter with God. This amazing encounter with God. It was actually a few days later that I was like prompted to ask for something. I asked to be shown something about reality, and the Mandela effect followed. 2 weeks prior to that date, my wife had said, I'm getting a sensation. I'm getting this idea, this feeling that something big's about to happen in our household. I said, okay. She said, something really big is about to happen. And I said, is it good or bad? And she said, it's neither. I can't really, it's odd. It's just big. That's it. So that kind of piggybacks off my last video where I was talking about having, you know, these abilities, whatnot. But that was the occasion. I think every anniversary of this date, I've had something kind of big happen. Like the 1 year anniversary it was seeing the UFOs in the sky, and then there's always something. It seems like that is transpiring around this date, or it could just be coincidence. Maybe there's something always big that's happening. It's just I'm noticing when it's around my anniversary for the Mandela effect. But 2016, September 23rd, my big day for a lot of change in my house and life forever. So on cue, and I had this feeling. So I had this kind of like a foster brother growing up. And this picture is not me or him. This is just a picture that my daughter had done of two people that were, brothers, and just did it for them. She was commissioned to paint it. But so I just need to put a picture in the background. But I had this fella who, he didn't go through like an official foster care system or anything like that. He was just a teen who was kind of living in the park. He didn't have a home, and I knew him from school, and I invited him to come home, and he started living in the basement of my grandparents' house with me, kind of raised by my grandparents there, and we became like brothers, and we fought like brothers. I even had a little sibling rivalry with him. Eventually, I went off to college, and he stayed back and lived with them longer, and he was, every bit part of the family. He was a brother. And then as life goes on, I go through college, I move away. He's going up in his career. He becomes very successful. He makes like little movies for companies, like promotional videos, things like that. Makes a lot of money doing it. Uh, Great sense of humor, great guy. And I got news last night about 1 a.m. My wife was awake. She was on the computer. She saw the notification, came in and woke me up and told me, and I was like, oh, that's terrible. And I wonder, and just, acting. But I was actually angry. And I realized I was angry inside. And there's some coincidences here that just pop up. One is about, I don't know, a week ago, maybe not even that long. It just out of the blue, I'm thinking about him. And I'm thinking I really ought to give him a call. I ought to see how he's doing. And that it just popped in my head. I need to give this guy a call. I haven't talked to him in forever. And I kind of got mad and said, no, I'm not. The phone works two ways. He never contacts me. He never tries to communicate. And I think ever since I started blowing him up with the Mandela effect back in 2016, I think I might have even pushed him way even further, because he got mad at me for posting stuff that was connected to his Facebook back then. I don't have a Facebook now, thank goodness. I didn't even use Facebook hardly at all before that. But when the Mandela effect happened, I was stupidly like putting stuff out there, and he got mad that I was putting that crazy stuff and it was connected to him. But we hadn't talked really at all since. And it did seem like I was always the one who was initiating the conversation. So I was mad about that. I realized I was like laying there in bed last night thinking, why am I actually angry with him? And I'm angry that I was the one always doing it. I was the person who was reaching out to stay in touch and to have any kind of relationship. And it's interesting that I got that cue to give him a call and I didn't respond to it. Because I was still angry. I didn't respond to it, and then he dies. But it might have been an opportunity to, I don't know, say something that needed to be said. I don't know. But we grew up like brothers, and the funny thing is, his name is Thompson. He is the son of Tom, basically, because somewhere back way long ago, somebody was Tom's son, and everybody called him, this is so-and-so, he's Tom's son, and then you get the name Thompson into society. It's a very common name. Somebody asked me why I chose Guy Fawkes as a name for my channel, and I always get that question. It's like I just, in about 3 seconds, decided to pick a name that would be anonymous because I wanted the channel to be, I wanted myself to be free to speak without feeling any kind of, obligation to please people. The less you stay connected with the communities out there, the more free you are to speak your mind. You don't worry about who you're going to offend because you're just alone and anonymous. So that was part of it. And another reason was Wendy Mitchell was really on the warpath to expose people, and she was on a religious warpath. This ties into the last video too about the religious fanaticism, burning people at the stake. If she could have, this woman was coming after people pretty hard, and she, I feel like if she could have destroyed my life in any way, or my children's life, or anybody's life, she would have done it in holy righteousness, because she felt I was dragging people to hell. Everything that I was saying was just dragging people to hell. So I must be stopped, and she would have done anything she could to cause suffering in my life. I even wondered if this woman would show up on my door one day with a gun and pop me in the head, because the way she would speak, it was just such fervor, and I didn't want her to have any part of being able to get to me or attack me. And then also my kids, my wife, they don't need drama in their life. So, hey, is this your dad? They don't need that. So out of respect for them and personal safety, and also just the freedom to talk, the freedom to say whatever. Why did I make the Fox different spelling? Because I knew there was like 10,000 names or 10,000 Guy Fawkes videos. I just want to be different. I wanted to change the name up. That's all. No big deal. I could have just, if I wanted to be anonymous, I should have just made my name like David Thompson. It's the most generic name in the world. Nobody would ever know who David Thompson is. There's a gazillion of them. But so my foster brother, my foster brother was not my real brother, but he's like my brother from another mother. He is named Tom's son, and I am literally Tom's son, and I'm Tom's son twice over. I'm Tom's son twice over, and I'm rejected. I'm rejected by Tom's son. He wanted nothing to do with me. He still, even once other family members found out we were connected, he denied my existence, wanted nothing to do with me. So it's kind of a weird story there. I'm the bastard child of the real Tom's son, and my foster brother's name is Thompson. And just coincidence, that's all. But it was also coincidental that I was thinking that I need to reach out and give him a call a week ago, and then he just dies. I get news that he dies. And of course, it's my 7-year Mandela effect anniversary. Happy anniversary. So there's the interesting tale that I just had to speak about and just say something. I usually do put a video up around my anniversary. So there you go. A video dedicated to all of the brothers out there, the rejected sons, and relationships that somehow go sour because we just stop talking to each other, and then people get, oh, here's another coincidence. Yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? It might have been the day before yesterday. Yeah, it was the day before yesterday. My friend John and I are talking, and I don't know why the conversation went this way, kind of out of the blue, but he was talking about how sometimes people are in our lives, and things happen and it changes, and then you just stop talking to them. You just and then maybe you start talking again out of the blue. He said that never bothers him. He'll be friends with somebody, doesn't talk to them for years, gives them a call, picks right back up where they were before. It's like not a big deal. But he said he was a friend who he did that with, and the guy was actually mad at him. He was treating him weird and mad at him, and he realized he was mad because he hadn't stayed in touch. He lost contact. It's so ironic, isn't it? That like my other friend is telling, and I was agreeing with him. I was like, yeah, I don't understand that. I'm never bothered either. Somebody can come and go in my life, and we can talk years later, and it's just the same. It's not a big deal. I'm saying that hypocritically because here I am 2 days later realizing that I'm personally angry at this brother of mine, this brother from another mother, for not trying to have a relationship. I'm always the one having to reach out, and I'm angry about that inside. So I don't know. I guess it applies to some people, but to others not so much. I don't know why. But that was another. There's so many layers of coincidence with this whole thing, and the last video I did where I'm talking about having psychic intuition and brothers. I think I talked recently about Tecumseh and his brother, who was the prophet, the fanatical prophet. I think that was in the last video. I mean, all of these interesting coincidences all just occurred. I was talking about, should I be burned at the stake if I happen to know something or get a sense that something's about to happen? Should my wife or having a sense that something big is going to happen in our family? These are all interesting questions. I mean, it's not like I was out seeking. I just knew. It's just what happens. It's the way there's so many threads of connection that are invisible. And if you just look at the circumstances around you, you see the little pinpoints of connection too, like son of Tom, and I am the literal son of Tom twice over, and stuff like that. It's interesting how that all kind of comes together. And somebody, if they listens to this, they might even think of another coincidence that I'm not even thinking of here. They might realize there's another tie-in somehow. I mean, it's amazing all the unique coincidences that occur in life. Anyway, with that, I think I'm about done, unless something else just pops in my head. But hope you have a great day, and God bless.